Take it easy.
Welcome to the show. Pull up your seats where the music flows. And vibe so sweet. We've got a night full of joy and laughter. Just press play for the rhythm and feel the banter. Lights lift low, set the mood just right. Kick up your feet, we're on the vibe all night. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sit that turbo key. Come in on the electro. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sit that turbo key. Come in on the electro. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome back, listen us to a cozy nook. Where the peace go like pages in a favorite book. Settling, feel the rhythm in every hook. Tonight's the night, let's dance and cook. You have a great time, make yourself at home. In this rhythmic zone, where the melodies from. See with peace the legs out, where the music keeps you warm. Join the jam, find your peace in the storm. Welcome to the groove, it's tea with me tonight. Feel the reggae flow, let it make the world right. Come and find your comfort, you meet the time that's right. With every track we spin, you take you to new heights. It's our place to chill, with rhythm that's enchant. Join us the moment, let's give you all the chance. Turn up the sweet serenades, let the music down. Open up in my prayer time, I swear on in that chair. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sit that turbo key. Come in on the electro. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sit that turbo key. Come in on the electro. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With tunes that you be man. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Hey, good night, folks. It's time to unwind. Think favorite tracks. Leave your stress behind. Welcome to the show. This song is just for you. Be with these your group where dreams is getting you. Come in on the electro, sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling bright, cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy and unwind. With tunes that you demand. Tea with Pizza Spot. Leave the sleep podcast land.
Diamonds so pearls, and I will moon and take you traveling the world. I'm gonna love you, babe. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are warm. Hope you're kicking it fly today, baby, because it's Thursday. You know what that means, baby. It's the day before Friday, and it's also time for a little tea with P, where the T is beer and the P is me, and you and I are here to talk about all things nudes, culture, science, health. You name it, nothing is off the table, baby. And boy, I'm glad to see you guys pulling up. First of all, huge shout out to Mr. CLTV throwing us a raid there at the beginning. It was about an hour early, but we'll take it. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. Huge shout out to Scrogger. Hey, huge shout out to Scrogger. Season 6 of Scrog School started tonight. And you're not going to want to miss that and all things going on in our space. So shout out to Northern Scrogger. That's on Northern Scrogger here on YouTube. And that's just finishing up right now. I think you're going to be able to find that Thursdays, man. Check it out. Every second Thursday? Maybe once Thursday of the month? I'm not certain. Might be every second Thursday. But shout out to the Northern Scrogger, man. Being a real one. Shout out to everybody pulling up, man. Double A, good to see you, man. On a roll. What up? Pheno Dino, what's up? On a roll, good to see you, Kurt. What's up? Litwick, Drewzilla, good to see you. John is in the house. John, good to see you. T, good to see you, brother, man. Good to see you, man. Cheryl's here, good to see you, girl. Mr. Downey Doomsday, what's up? Here, let me pull you guys up a little closer here. There, you couldn't see it, but I brought up the chat. Fresh Cut P, yeah, we got a brand new do, ladies and gentlemen. Brand new do. Oh, feeling pretty fly for a white guy. MN Grow and Tell, good evening, sir. White Shade Nursery, hello. Tasty Genetics, good evening, friend. Good evening. Good to see everybody, man. Good to see all those members in green. As you guys know, I did not have an opportunity. As you can see, I did not change the color because for some reason Siri didn't remind me to. So here I am. Matt, good to see you, man. Dro House is in the house. PNW Home Grower, good to see you, dude. Good to see everybody, man. Fuck ads. I know, I just got thrown into an ad too on my own dang thing. Don't worry, I can assure you those ads will go away in just a few minutes. Good to see everybody pulling up, man. So good to see you. Grow Me Gardens, hello. Drewzilla, holla. Mr. CLTV made it, dude. Thanks for the raid an hour ago. I appreciate that, brother. Making room for Mr. Northern Scrogger. Always appreciate it, dude. Good to see Garden Quest. How you doing? Motivated by Terps is in the house. Blazing Arizona. Peas on my phone. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are well and warm. Shout out to everybody, man. We got a great show in store. Mrs. P, how you doing?
I'm excited.
Excited?
I'm excited.
Got a banger?
I think so. Mm-hmm. You may have mentioned a segment about cute things, and so that's my thing.
Oh, we might have a few things to check out. Yeah, we might have a few things to check out. We got a lot going on. I found some really cool things on the internet. We're going to be diving into that. We've also got an interview today. We got a sit-down conversation with Sam Podempsey from You Feel You. He is a co-founder of the company that is of a product that's in over 900 stores here in Canada, focusing on products that are infused and or created with microcannabinoids. So we're going to be talking to him, diving into that and so much more at the top of the next hour. So stay tuned for that.
I have to stop you for a second.
Oh, what?
In the chat, Pheno Dino said, "Can you give my mom a shout out, please? She loves the show."
Yo, shout out to Dino's mom. What's Mrs. Pheno Dino's name? Or at least what's the name? Because I would love to. Yeah. Put the brakes on, baby. Hell yeah. Appreciate that. Who else is high right now? I am not. No, I am not. Micronutrients. Microcannabinoids. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a banger of a conversation. Very exciting. Toad Venom? Not quite. Pheno Dino. What did I say? Pheno Dino?
I think so.
I think that's what I said. I at first said Pheno Dino, and then this time I said Pheno Dino.
I realized that you can't ask me what you said because I'm so used to you mispronouncing things.
Everything?
But I know what you mean all the time. So it doesn't register.
It's a marriage thing.
Right?
It's a marriage.
And then when you say back, you're like, oh, did I say that? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't even know what you said.
I don't know. I was listening, but I don't know what you said.
Shout out to Pheno Dino's mom. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the love. What camera am I on? I'm on that one. Thank you. I appreciate you. I, in honor of all that love, am going to have a educational, for documentary purpose, hoot. And this is going all places except for Russia, because we're banned there. So, Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Fino Dino's mom. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for all the love. Thanks to everybody for pulling up this beautiful Thursday afternoon / evening for many. Cheers. Word up to your mother. So, I want you guys to know, wow, look at the color on that, eh? Don't I look good? I wanted you guys to know that, you know our skits? You know our skits? The Stash Blend skits, the one with like Titanic, the Bon Jovi one. Guess what? I'm losing the copyrights to these. My Titanic version of In the
Nope.
Nope. The other one.
My heart will go on.
My heart will go on.
You're gonna get copywritten on this.
I'm going to
too.
get copyrighted again. I'm losing these
You're
guys.
too good, babe.
I'm
You're too
freaking
good.
losing these. Sony Entertainment didn't drop it. I was like, it's not even your song. It's my skit. It's free. So, and I don't feel like going to court against Sony Entertainment. So, unfortunately, goodbye to the Titanic skit. Freaking Titanics. It's gone.
I
So,
was more upset about the Bon Jovi one because that one was good.
I worked hard on that one.
I know.
I worked hard on that one.
I remember I was
Then
sick that day.
Mr. Jovi came after me, dude.
I was sick that day, and I remember hearing you in the basement, and I was like, "What is he doing?"
It was a great beat.
It was.
It was a
It
great
good.
beat. Yeah, it's getting
Short-lived.
copywritten.
Short-lived.
Short-lived. Short-lived. So that's the big news of the day. We can all go home now. Thank you guys for pulling up. Litwick.
Was it Little Shop of Horror too? Didn't that one get?
Little Shop. It did, but I won that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I guess
won
we
that
never
one.
really talked about it after you told me that it got copywritten.
Literally, okay, so I did the Little Shop of Horrors. And literally all I did through that whole song was repeat the little shop of horrors, little shop of horrors, little shop of horrors, little shop of horrors, little shop. I got copywritten for that one, but I won that one. I was like, that's my song.
Because it wasn't even the song.
Well,
it was
neither-
like one line.
Sony Entertainment, it's a flute. It's the flute. It's like the really bad flute one.
I used to.
That's
be able
not
to,
even their song.
I used to be able to play that on the recorder.
It's not even their song. So frustrating. I'm losing these battles. We have a community here. Yes, we do, Dito. You see, and I can't believe it. P, those glasses are fire. Reminds me of gazelles from back in the 80s. Gazelles. I'm not familiar of a gazelle.
The 80s was kind of the vibe.
Yeah, I want to admit, when I chose these glasses, I was specifically going for glasses that were big, they were bold, they would definitely be different than what I'm used to. And then once I put them on, I realized, damn, I actually really like these. I really like these. And then who was it last week that mentioned gangsta Tony Stark?
I don't remember who it was. but it was
Because
hilarious.
I read the comment, had no idea what you meant. And then Mrs. P was like, yo, so I
Immediately, I was like, yes.
yeah, and then she Googled Tony Stark, and then sure enough, they're the exact same glasses. They're the exact same glasses. So, damn it, I don't know. Should I talk to you guys like this? 'Cause
I
I'm
don't know.
talking
You
over
keep
here.
telling me you don't like the other shots.
No, I
so
like
I'm
this
not
one,
using
but I don't
them.
know how to address you guys.
I
It's
don't
kind of
know.
weird. It's kind of awkward. Eh? So yeah. So anyways, nice fade as well. Thanks, Mountain. I appreciate it. Stop. So yeah, I've got the same glasses as Tony Stark, and I'm okay with it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been paying attention to Instagram, there's a little drama in the soil department. Clean up in the soil department. Seems like we've got a little bit of a debate going on, or at least it seems as if a debate's going on between Jeremy from BuildaSoil and Tad from KIS Organics. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the band that hit Texas hard. Going to be talking about that and diving into so much more coming up in the nudes. Canna News. All things culture, science, and health. your one-stop shop for all things Canna News. So, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my inside sources who are always sending me stories, and they're always sending me tidbits, topics of conversation. I appreciate you. Because let's be frank, this show wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the input of all of you guys. If there's any stories that you would like to cover, or you would like me to cover, or any as such, you can actually hit me up over on X at Pigeons420. Sorry, I was making sure my mic was at the right volume. At Pigeons420. You can hit me up on any of these platforms. Primarily hit me up on X though, because that's where it's the smallest, and I'm far more likely to see your comment. But somebody brought to my attention that there was a bit of a heated debate going on between Jeremy of BuildaSoil and Tad from KIS Organics. And honestly, actually, Mr. P, if you could bring up the
first one?
The first one, yeah, that would be great. So if you could just get rid of the up there, all the way to the top of the comment section, because the comment section is kind of where I'm at here. So a few days ago, I believe it was last week, Jeremy from BuildaSoil made a post on Instagram going over soil inputs and making the claim that some inputs, based on the way that they're derived, are not ethically sustainable within your soil buildup. Can you zoom in a little bit? It's not the video I want to see here, Mrs. P. It's the comments.
It's kind of a pain to zoom on here.
There you go. You got it. First try. Look at that. So if you go all the way to the top.
It's
yes.
X that's a pain in the butt.
So I can't see the top of the.
I have to do this.
So it says, BuildaSoil says, think your soil is clean because it's labeled, quote, organic? You might want to look a little closer or deeper. In part 2 of our 3-part series, we're digging into the truth behind common inputs found in many potting soils, even those approved for organic use, and why they might not belong in real living soil. We're talking about ingredients that come from questionable sources, contribute to long-term soil issues, or simply don't support the biology you're trying to build. And they direct you to your website, or to their website, for more information. And Tad from KIS Organics comments just underneath and just says, hey, based on permaculture principles, the usage of slaughterhouse byproducts is a highest use case for sustainability. There we go. Not defending the ethics of the meat industry. Research shows that fertilizers like bone meal and blood meal are significantly cleaner than ocean-based inputs. And let's face it, industrial fishing is not good either, but the same principle of highest use case applies. Lower heavy metals, non-detectable for herbicides, pesticides, and most PFAS compared to fish meal and fish bone meal. So essentially what Tad's saying here is, well, wait a second. It would suggest through permaculture principles that actually the waste from the byproducts of a slaughterhouse can be used sustainably without justifying the meat industry. You can still use this material without it being bad, or else it's just going to waste anyways. And if you can go scroll down, Jeremy responds, and he says, at KIS Organics, this one has really bothered you since day one. Maybe if you actually smoked weed, you would get over it. We make a lot of soil not mixed by another company, so that means we must buy all the amendments direct, and I don't want to spend hundreds of thousands on amendments that are cheap and the same as everybody else and come from graping the earth with thousands of acres of Roundup sprayed crops to produce them. Essentially not getting crops that came in contact with Roundup. Then fed back through animal cruelty. Listen, I know I'm a hypocrite, but I've said this since day one, and some people do care to know. Slight dig at the fact that Tad isn't a big smoker, but then essentially says, sits down on his principle and disagrees. Tad responds, personal attacks aside, let's look at facts. Is there a higher use for bone meal and blood meal? This is Permaculture 101. Is it indeed, quote unquote, dirty, like you claim? It's a great marketing message, but the science doesn't seem to support it. Blood and bone meal are cleaner than ocean-based inputs when it comes to heavy metals and other contaminants, based on all the research I've seen, as well as all the independent heavy metal testing we've done, which you can view on our website. If you have any data to support your claims, it would be great for you to publish it. You have a great platform and reach a lot of growers. I hope you will use that influence to promote accurate information. Jeremy responds one more time, says, dirty as in it's dirty because of all the cruelty. Also, it's not just blood and bone, of which we don't use. The poultry litter from some local places is dirty, and it's impossible to test everything. We just prefer to use seed meals and other inputs. The worst heavy metal offenders I've seen have been minerals. The remarks weren't a personal attack. I just don't think you have ever been a weed smoker, and it's strange that you teach specifically to those that do. To me, it would feel disingenuous, similar to me teaching jujitsu to anyone if I have never rolled. Just talked to all the black belts and discussed fighting. I also don't think it's personal attack to mention most all soil companies have another company mixing their soil. Look, I know where you stand on these inputs, and I disagree. I'm not the science podcast guy. I just teach what I teach, and I'll be doing it as long as I can. These things matter to me, and they matter to some others. And so this conversation actually goes back and forth, and it's actually, I encourage you to go and check it out. This is under BuildaSoil's post from about 7 days ago. It's right there. It's from a week ago, and it's under what's real in your soil. The only real reason I wanted to touch on this is because what you have here is a discussion between two grown-ass men in regards to both of their passions of soil sustainability and reasonable methods to source it. The problem that I have is that Jeremy kind of says that this is not open to discussion, and I don't believe I read that here. He actually responds to Tad's video that I'll show in just a minute, where he challenges Jeremy to a conversation or a debate. And Jeremy essentially says he's not open to debate. But I wanted to touch on, or kind of what bothered me, is that I wanted to touch on the fact that Jeremy suggests that Tad simply doesn't have the wherewithal or the credentials to comment on this because he doesn't smoke weed. That's not fair. Tad is looking at this from a scientific backed perspective with research and studies to prove it. And that's what he teaches. And that's what his method simply is. And it's very valuable to the space, whether he smokes or not. I think in some sense, someone who's never rolled on a jiu-jitsu mat can sit and talk to black belts, but there's going to be parts of the conversation that they simply won't understand. In the same way that a smoker or a non-smoker would not understand the particular effects of weed. Nobody is just out of the conversation simply because they don't smoke or they don't roll. If anything, we should be open to conversation. We should be willing to see the other perspective and then make a rational choice. It's okay if you've already considered this and made your decision, but I think it's very important that we have this discussion so that everybody can learn. Why not open this up to the masses so the masses can then decide either A or B and then go from there? So this is just a conversation between two grown-ass men. I don't think that I've been, for the record, I've been following Jeremy for a very, very long time. I was actually following Jeremy long before I was on YouTube. When I was a blogger, I seen his formula and his product making its way through the internet and through growers everywhere, and I was quite fascinated by that. And I don't think that Jeremy is a bad guy. I don't think he's trying to attack anyone. I just simply think that he was trying to brush off the argument by referring to Tad as a non-smoker. But I just don't think that's valid, and I do think there should be a place to have a conversation. And this is kind of what Tad said in his video, and the video it says this.
I can't really zoom in on the video. So.
No, can't zoom on the video. That's okay.
So recently I got into a conversation with Jeremy from BuildaSoil about using meat industry byproducts, things like blood, bone, and feather meal, as fertilizers. Their position is that these inputs should not be used because they come from an industry with serious animal cruelty issues. Now, my position is different. Data shows that these byproducts are safe, effective, and clean, and actually the highest use for those waste streams. From a permaculture perspective, reusing them is the most sustainable thing that we can do. And to BuildaSoil, this is an open invitation. Let's move beyond the comment threads and have a real discussion. Whether it's on my podcast, a YouTube Live, or another platform, I'd love to dive deeper into the science. Let's talk about bone and blood meal versus ocean-based fertilizers that you prefer. Let's talk about heavy metals, indoor cultivation in relation to cover cropping and mulches, chop and drop, and other cultivation practices. And to everyone else, I want to hear your perspective. Jeremy, let me know when you're available so we can have an open discussion on these topics and more.
You can stop this. Yep. The thing is like Grab It Hard says the topic doesn't matter. I'll always use blood and bone meal. I think the topic does matter. I think the topic does matter, and that would be why I think it's important to have these conversations, so that people can make a reasonable decision based on the facts. And I would like to extend an invitation to both these gentlemen to have a conversation here on Tea with P. Not only would I love to host it, but I would also love to kind of mediate between it. That'd be something that would be a very beneficial to the community, a conversation of interest. That's what I was trying to say. So my question to you guys is, what do you think? What do you think in regards to either soil inputs, their sustainability, but more importantly, what do you think about the conversation at hand in regards to using the byproducts of this waste or the slaughterhouses in particular? Tad goes with more of a science-based approach and perspective, where Jeremy goes with more of a purity, ethical, moral approach, which I think are two differing but fantastic opinions. And I would like to hear from you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? It's great to see each and every one of you coming into the chat. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. Thank you guys for tuning into Tea with P. This is your one-stop shop for all things nudes, culture, science, health in our space, man. I'm a pro advocate for home growing. I want to see you growing. So if you have that opportunity to, and if you've never done that before and you're new here, you're in the right spot. Good to see everybody, man. We got Mr. Westport is here. Mr. ROB is here. In-house genetics is here. Like, my goodness, what is growing on, everybody? It's so good to see you guys. Thank you for pulling up. Mr. P, what happened to my TV?
It was reflecting off your glasses, and it was distracting.
Okay. Can you turn that back on? Because I don't like this one shot the whole time. Because you look bored over there, and I can't have that.
I'm not
I can't have that
bored.
at all.
I'm reading the chat. Blazing Arizona says take it to the Thunderdome.
She's
I
reading
agree.
the chat. That's good. That's good.
I
That's what
always
I'm
read-
doing.
I always read the
That's
chat.
what I'm doing.
I know, but I
We're
feel
doing
like
the same thing.
you and I both pick out different comments constantly.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Jeff Newman, pigeons.
There,
Miss the
gonna make
old
you
days of
happy?
you sitting in front of a big green tree.
The window.
Oh, over here. Oh, good
we
heavens.
removed the window in the basement.
Yeah, I caved it in. I built a huge hill in front of the window, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it was different. It was different back then. Mrs. P and I were actually reminiscing through old episodes not that long ago.
I was gonna say it's funny going back and looking and realizing how much things have changed.
Oh, they changed, babe.
A lot.
Oh, it's changed. Yeah, it's changed. It looks a little different around here now.
The audio's maybe a little bit better than it was.
A little bit.
A
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, your basement is different now. It definitely is. P is the Tech 9. P will never go mainstream. Mainstream goes P. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Did you get my email about the giveaway, Mrs. P? From Dustin Diggers?
Yes. Yes.
Boom. Fantastic. Accepted.
Yep.
Good to hear. We're all here chilling. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. High Plains. What are you guys toking on, man? I'd like to hear. It's Thursday night. It's almost 10 p.m. What are you smoking on?
I remember
What are
when
you
he
smoking
wouldn't
on?
show his face.
Oh, yeah, there was a time. Yeah.
I remember when you used to wake yourself up in the middle of the night because you were dreaming that you fell asleep at the computer and your face fell into the shot. And you'd like all of a sudden wake up in the middle of the night thinking that you were on camera. It's a little less stressful now.
That was one of my biggest fears,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, that was one of my biggest fears. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for pulling up. At the top of the next hour, guys, we are going to be sitting down with Sam, which is the co-owner of You Feel You, which is a well-recognized company here in Canada with products that are infused primarily with microcannabinoids. And they're in over 900 stores across the country. And I kind of want to dive into what is a CEO of a business focusing on microcannabinoids do with his everyday life. And I'm going to dive into that. And I think it's going to be a great conversation. So stay tuned for that. That's in less than 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Ish. I'm an ish kind of guy, actually, now that I think about it. It's going to be coming up at the top of the next hour. Leaves a little room for anticipation. Thanks to everybody that's been pulling up too to my streams over on Twitch, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I streamed this morning while I was duck hunting.
Are you streaming hunting again?
I was streaming hunting again, Mrs. P.
You guys distract him because he doesn't bring me home anything.
Perhaps that's true. In fact, perhaps that's true.
I think it's just still too early.
Yeah,
Everybody that we've been talking to says like,
it is early.
yeah,
But I'm seeing ducks. I shot
know.
what 10 times today, guys?
yeah, I know.
Flock. We were shooting at flocks. Let me tell you, and we were making noise, man. It was so much fun. I didn't get any ducks. I didn't get any geese today because I don't know how to aim very well. No one ever. I never had a man in my life to teach me how to hunt. So I'm teaching myself how to hunt, and I'm teaching myself how to aim now. I didn't go skeet shooting first, which would have been smart. So I'm literally just trying to learn on the fly. So, pun intended. I'm having fun. I'm having the time of my life, though. It was a lot of fun this morning. And if that's something you're into, come check it out. Pigeons 420 on Twitch. Cheers, dudes. You're doing good, P. Appreciate it, Mountain. Thank you. Duck, duck, goose. I wanted to talk about a ban. The ban hammer. It's happening to Texas. Last week we covered the fact that Texas was moving towards a healthier medical system, or at least a more expansive medical system. However, as of September 1st, I missed this last week, Texas law banning marketing, sale of certain e-cigarette products taking effect. Sorry, I blended a topic and a sentence all at the same time. So that's coming into effect as of September 1st. So we're 18 days in already. Go ahead. The article says that marketing and selling most disposable e-cigarettes products, including THC vapes, is now illegal in Texas after Senate Bill 2024 took effect on September 1st. E-cigarettes or vapes are defined in the bill as electronically powered devices that simulate smoking. Can you zoom in a little more, Mrs. P? And deliver nicotine or other substances to the user. So the law does not ban medical devices or prescriptions that may use similar drug delivery mechanisms. So Bill Marsden, owner of the Glassmith, an Austin-based smoke shop that has a location in West Campus, said vapes make up approximately 25% of his business. And since a statewide ban on THC failed to be passed, he said his customers have other nicotine and THC products to fall back on. So that's unfortunate for those in Texas. I do know that my friend Chris from Black Tie Vapor, he has a dispensary, and vapes and vaping makes up or did before all the bans and effects that took an effect here, made up a significant portion of his sales. So it's unfortunate to see these bans coming in. I think obviously if the products are coming from a legitimate source, I think they should be sold. I think that's in the best interest of the people, and it's unfortunate. So Texas, get your shit together, okay? I'm talking to you, government. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to the Texas government right here. I better be careful what I say. I got a lot less guns. Northern Scrogger is in the house, my friends. Northern Scrogger. This guy takes a second to come on over here and to bless us with his beautiful scruffy beard and haggard. No, that's not what I meant to say. Haggard. Rugged look. Dude, you look stellar, dude. Dare I comment on your looks, or somebody might just freak out?
Oh, no, they were already talking about you being a stud in the chat, so it's okay.
Who? Mr. Northern Scrogger?
No, I can't remember who.
Mr. Northern Scrogger's a stud. Boy looks good. I saw him. I saw him.
Yeah, I can't.
Way he was whipping those plants around? Dude. Mm-hmm. Seen it with my own eye. I seen it with my own eye. Yes, I did. Also, can you... sorry, I changed my thought. Isn't pigeons and ducks cousins? No. There's no family here. Okay? There's no family here. All right? We do our own.
They're the side of the family we don't like.
Yeah, it's the side we don't talk to anymore. We only go over for Thanksgiving dinners, and that's it. Okay? Brina, it's good to see you. The Canadian Outdoor Strain, it's also great to see you. Michael Gonzalez, hello. I'm from Texas, and we will never see any sort of decriminalization or legalization. We will always be a nanny state, and it sucks. Michael Gonzalez, you know what? I hope you're wrong. You know what? It starts with you. And Mrs. P, there was a picture of Mr. It was one of those posts. It was a picture of Pablo and his son.
Huh?
On one of those X posts at the top. Can you pull it up? The one with Pablo and his son. There's something I want to read to you, okay? And I want it to be very, very clear that before I show you this, I do not condone any kind of illegal activity. La 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 la. Don't do it. La 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 la. Okay. With that being said, I saw a post today that
I'm like, who are you talking about?
that said this. This dude took this picture. Can you scroll up so it shows who posts it? This dude took this picture while the entire U.S. government was looking for him. And some of you are still worried about growing 8 plants instead of the 6 you're legally allowed. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that information. I just I thought this was a very motivating post. Is that the original poster? Fascinating.
Oh, no. Hang on.
That way we give credit.
I've had to adjust the screen so many times.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Novelty gift seed. Just want to give credit to the original poster there, but what you do with that information, it's interesting. It's interesting. But you know what I want to encourage you. This is how I want you to go into your. I don't condone violence of any sorts, okay? But this is how I want you to go into your legislative building, and this is how I want you to voice your opinion in regards to standing up for cannabis legalization. Okay? Show them that one, Mississippi.
Am I supposed to know which one you want me to play?
Yeah, this is me bursting into
the work week.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're bursting into a legislative room here. Okay. Okay. Like fucking Peter Pan. Yeah. We want legalization. Yeah. Give us legalization now. We want it now. We're the people, and we deserve legalization. Give it to me. I voted for legalization. So give it to me. See? You got to be fierce. Okay? Fierce like Robin Hood. You got to strike like Tiger. Yeah. Okay?
I like the little fists.
Yeah, he means business, and that's what we're going to do, okay? We're not taking shit anymore. Okay? We're not taking shit anymore. Okay? Shout out to my man for showing us how we should all be carrying it, man.
Jackie Chan ain't got nothing on that, too.
No, you better watch out. You better watch out. Remember, we don't condone violence. This is all attitude, okay? This is all attitude we're talking about right here, okay? Now, speaking of attitude, you know how you get your attitude right? Mrs. P, can you pull up the workout? Yeah, this is how we got to get the attitude right, okay? After a good talk session, after we've built up the vibes, we gotta jump into life. We gotta jump into things.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
It's the Chinese one, Mrs. P.
The
Okay,
Chinese
I would let Mrs. P would know which clips come in order, but I really just think of them as I go.
I don't have a Chinese one.
It's
fitness class in China.
Oh, it's that one. Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. You better, and you can play the sound on this one, Mrs. P, because if this is not how you're working out, you're not doing it right. Okay, I'll admit I'm not working out right. Go. Yes. Hit some sound on this, Mrs. P.
It is.
I love it. There we go. That's Mr. Scrogger. I knew it. Oh, Jesus. Sign me up, dude. Sign me up, dude. That right there, that was Adam Mill. That was Adam Mill.
I'll go tomorrow.
That was Adam Mill. Yeah.
That's sick.
Boom.
That's how you stay motivated, though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's intense.
That's what I'm saying.
I like it.
Oh,
I feel like that's like a typical spin class, though.
Is it?
Like anytime that I see
Sign me up.
something about spin classes, they look sick. Maybe not with the confetti and stuff, but it's intense.
I hate to be the guy that's got to clean it up. Do you think they all clean it up after they're done?
No, that's what the staff is for. Whoa, wait a second. What the hell?
I don't know. What you got?
I don't know, my computer just went out.
Oh, it'll come back. It's funny how that happens like that.
Jesus.
Yep, don't worry.
Scared me.
It's fine. Yeah, it's normal. It's normal.
I was like, well, there goes the stream.
That's okay. You know what else is crazy?
Which one?
You should play there's one where I don't know how to describe it. He's falling down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This one's good.
Failure under the lens?
Failure under the lens. I saw this. These were just great things that I saw today, and I just thought, you know what? I need to share these. Nobody was harmed in the making of these videos, by the way, except for her. At first, I thought she was attacked. But then old people just keep falling out of... I was concerned. Have you been there? Probably a first date. Grandma's like, I got it! Fuck. And then this... I don't know how that happens. Oh! She did that on purpose. She disapproved of the hedges.
These people's houses are poorly built.
Yeah.
That would be me.
His shoes were like, we're out of here.
Oh. That's any Canadian in the winter.
They take it! How many people have had something to drink? Oh, dude. Sometimes I feel like the best way to enjoy your day is to know that no matter how shitty your day was, somebody's day was worse. Okay? Somebody's day was worse, no matter what. So we're gonna go into tonight knowing that we're having ourselves a fantastic evening. It's so good to see you guys, man. There was pure joy, Mrs. P. I would like to show some pure joy right now because this is the feeling the flock gives me on a Thursday night. It's like the second one, I think.
The stairs?
Yep.
Yeah, pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Yeah, it brings me joy. Pure happiness brings me joy.
I'm going to turn up just a little bit because I can only imagine the sounds.
Always. So look at this. This is a ferret. And at first I was like, oh, he's being attacked. How's he going to react?
No, you're going to get
But
copywritten on that song.
Then, out of his periffs. Oh my God. He's so excited, man. This is me after I get home from work. I open up my bag and I'm just about to smoke. And it's like, yeah. Even better when you find out there's a little more left in the grinder, dude.
Oh, that was cute.
Mm-hmm. That's pure joy. That's pure joy. And it's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. And then I was going to show you one right before with the seal.
Yeah.
This one. Do you know what a seal says? This is what the seal says. Oh, son of a bitch. Thought you were being attacked right there, hey? Yeah, so I love seals,
The thing
man.
is, part of me feels like he's like in distress.
In distress?
Like that he can't get out.
No, not get out. He just swam up and down.
I know. I feel like...
There's no distress. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, at first I didn't understand this.
The fact that you didn't get this.
Well, I saw that there were two stools.
It's just...
Well, they're two stools.
Oh, my
These people
God.
have two stools strapped
Okay.
them. And then this is how this started, and I was confused immediately.
Oh, you're going to get copyright on this one, too.
Yeah, can't copyright on this one. It's my party now. Oh, what's this? Deer in the headlights. Oh. Last minute costume was better than expected.
Those are fantastic.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, see, I'm making...
Do you want to be a basketball, babe?
Well, I'm making you do a couple's costume this year.
Do you want to be a basketball?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I don't want to do it.
I'll be Nemo.
Who's this? Who's Nemo? I didn't understand that one.
That was Finding Nemo. Oh, Curious George?
I'm confused. Is this Arnold?
Hey, Arnold, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what her name is.
This is cool.
I
Is it a
know.
reference of a
Yeah,
movie?
it is.
That's
It
cute.
is. I can't think of it, though.
I don't get it.
White Chicks.
I know this one.
Yes.
Yep, I know this one.
But is it as funny when you're already white?
Coneheads?
SpongeBob.
Oh.
Patrick and Mr. Krabs.
I thought that was a... Yo, is it Bare Naked Ladies?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what that
Beastie
one is.
Boys. Dude. Those are spot on. How many people still get dressed for Halloween? How many people still get dressed for Halloween? I'm going to ask this question again. We're getting close to Halloween. I can't even believe that, actually. That's an insane thought.
We are, and our party people are having the party the weekend before Halloween. Because that one friend that busts her ass working has to work on Halloween.
Yep. That's
So-
unfortunate. I got friends with birthdays on Halloween.
So it's a week before that we have to come up with stuff. Yeah.
We crazy story. Our friends we got dressed up. We would get dressed up for Halloween, and we would have Halloween parties. And one year,
It was like the first year.
we all decide. I don't know if it was the first year, but we all decide that, you know what, we're not going to dress up.
And I don't remember why.
So we have a Halloween party, and for some reason, it was like we sent out a message or something, but for some reason, nobody dressed up for this party.
Yeah.
Except for one guy,
The birthday boy.
the birthday boy. And he got all dressed up, and he got there, and he was the only one. He was so embarrassed.
that
He's
was back-
never dressed up for Halloween since, and this was
16 years ago.
16 years ago.
And it wasn't even like one of the times that we had a house party. Like we went out to the bar that night, right? We went out to the pub to play pool, and then we were going to the bar. And he was the only one in a costume.
Oh, I felt
And
so
like
bad.
we apologize annually.
Every year we apologize
And
to
we
him. He's
tell him, we're
"Fuck
like,
no, I
dude,
ain't
we're
dressing
and
up.
like and we
Fuck
go
this."
we all go all out now. And he refuses.
You would think. Shout out, that's my homie too.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame
don't
him,
fucking
dude.
blame him at
I don't
all.
blame him either. I would never dress up.
I would
again
be the
myself.
same way.
I would never dress up again.
He did bring a mask last year. I'll give him that. He brought a mask and he wore it a little bit.
Yeah, to scare the kids.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Minus.
They
Oh,
deserve it.
I said his name. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny, man. So we're gonna be, in just a few minutes, ladies and
We
gentlemen.
have so many more.
We're gonna do them. We're gonna do it in
Okay.
just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be sitting down with our good friend Sam from You Feel You. Had an opportunity to sit down with him earlier this week, and we broke down his company that focuses on products with micro cannabinoids, which are distributed to 900 stores across the country. To my discredit, I don't spend enough time diving into the Canadian culture and the Canadian cannabis space, and I'm going to be doing that more. And I want to be just diving into some of the people who are movers and shakers and influencers in the space, and I want to present them to you because I live in a very beautiful country that has some form of legalization. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And of course, we have interviewed Canadians before. Of course, I'm not saying we haven't. It's just we need to spend more time. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. But yes, Mrs. P, what's the next one you got for us?
Town meeting.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to find a good argument against this man's claim.
Hang on, I gotta make sure the volume's on because I feel like
It does have to be on.
yeah, we're good. Okay.
Mr. Thilly, I started your time.
So they started his time.
And this is his argument.
And the volume is on, friends. The volume is on.
Can you?
Why did our taxes go up so much?
Thank you, Mr. Thilly. I like the interpretive dance. Mr. Thilly, I
Why did the taxes go up so much? Nobody answered the
Nobody
question.
answered the question.
That was great. That was great. That's gonna be my tactic at our next town meeting when I have a question.
Yeah, that was a good one. What do you got for us next, Miss P?
How did you lose all your money?
Okay. All right. So before we get started here, ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a bet. If you had to bet against a camel or a midget in a race, who would you have? Who would you have in the flock right now? I want to hear. Huh? Who do you got? Who do you got right now? Huh? Want to get your answers? Want to get your answers? We got a race, ladies and gentlemen. We got a race. Okay? Let's see it, Mrs. P.
Oh, hang on. I have to adjust the screen. Because I feel like this is a we need.
Me betting on midgets versus camels race at 3:61
3:61
a.m. Let's see it.
Now, in fact, passing Mike Murga and is in front of him by at least 4 or 5 yards. He started slowly, but now he is moving quickly. And the next
Hey, camel with pride.
Critical. Mike Murga handing it off to
Okay, we get sloppy handoff. We got it.
But
Holy crap!
Gonzalez, dude. Alex Gonzalez. Here we go.
The camel is slowing down, and it's anybody's race. We're down to the finish line, and it is a photo finish that's
Huh?
way too close to call.
Huh?
What a race.
Huh? Huh?
I'm going to give it to Speedy Gonzalez.
This is the kind of stuff. That's the television that I remember as a kid. That's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. I don't know what happened with the world with the Jersey Shore and the, it scares me today. The real world, it scares me today. Maybe I just reference shows from like the 2000s, but I think that's what happened with the world. I think that's how we should settle all of our disputes.
With a race?
A race. Yeah. Between the winner. What do we got?
I'll give you $5 if you walk over here.
Okay. Not everything is as it seems, ladies and gentlemen. You can apply this to your real life, okay? Always ask questions.
I give you $5, you walk over here. Motherfuckers be down here faking like a motherfucker.
I admire his hustle.
Yep.
I admire his hustle, right? He wanted $5. He got $5. Wonder how many more money he lost as people watched him get up, though. That's what I'm kind of curious in. Huh?
Yeah, who was watching?
Oh, geez. What do we got?
I got a Coast Guard.
You got a Coast Guard here, huh?
Okay, it says
Coast
Guard seizes over 5,000
Ladies and
pounds.
gentlemen, we have footage. Show it. We have footage of.
Do you want me to read it first?
Nope.
Or?
Nope.
Okay.
This is actually. We actually got Shane from Migro. Input from Shane from Migro. We had to track him down. Where was he? There he is. We found him. There we go. There he is. We found him, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, his first public appearance. I'm just playing. Go ahead and read it, Miss P.
Well, I can't read it while I'm watching it.
This is a bust, a cartel bust right here, ladies and
Like it
gentlemen.
says they 5,000 pounds of cocaine.
Cane. That's pretty crazy. Could you imagine being in one of these?
And 60 suspected narco-terrorists. So they got a haul.
Wow.
Were there 60 guys on that one little sub? Like they only pulled 3 out. 4?
Yeah, I don't know.
4 maybe?
60?
No, 3.
That's what it said. 60
says,
guys.
And apprehends nearly 60 suspected narco-terrorists as part of its Operation Pacific Viper.
They're
There's
putting a lot of people in there.
There's
man.
no way there were 60 people in that thing. Well, maybe. I don't know. Ugh. I don't even want to watch the last video.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you guys hungry?
No.
Bon appetit. Look at this. Lobster, crab, anyone?
No, it says, I know that crabs and lobsters
Yeah.
are basically oceanic insects.
But show it. This is lobsters, crabs. Anyone you guys like your crustaceans? Let's hit it. Let's hit it.
No.
Hey, there we go.
No.
What does this they say? A sea cockroach?
That's like a literal ocean cockroach. No.
Little veggies on there, dude.
No.
Yum. Yummy.
Oh,
Yum.
that's disgusting.
What? What are you talking about? We're probably full of meat. Ugh. That's bon appetit right there.
Oh.
Oh, dude. Oh, I didn't watch this. Oh my God, this is not true. This doesn't happen. Oh, there. Oh, okay, stop. Oh, dude.
I love seafood.
Oh, dude.
That's disgusting.
That's something else,
And I know it's probably a delicacy somewhere,
dude.
but I can't.
Wow.
I couldn't. Ugh.
Wow. That's insane. Yeah, anyways, I'm trying to get over that.
You picked it.
I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw some of it.
I thought you watched it.
No. No, I was like, dude.
Oh, I could have told you from the thumbnail that was gonna be nasty.
No, it was fine.
No,
I could eat it.
no, that made me puke.
Oh, that's greatness. Yeah, hey, that's a delicacy right there. I'm a foodie. Okay.
I'm a foodie and I love to try different cultural things, but there are certain things I can't. I know there's that one, I can't remember how to say it, but it's like a bird fetus.
Okay, that's a bit far.
I think it's like a Thailand thing, or I can't remember where it's from. But you like hard boil the egg, and it's like the fetus. You're supposed to eat it. I don't know. I couldn't do it. There are certain lines that I wouldn't cross.
I don't even think I ever would have talked about that even, let alone.
I don't know if that was any better or worse than what we just watched.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But anyways, was there another one, Mrs. P? I think that was it.
That was it. That was all.
That's the things that I see on the internet. Some things that I don't need to see, and some things I could probably watch twice. But here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week I had the opportunity to sit down with Sam from You Feel You, the CEO of a company that focuses on products that are infused with microcannabinoids. And let me tell you, great guy, exciting conversation, and I cannot wait for you to check it out. Coming up right after this rip. Right after I have a suit. Got you. Coming up right after this rip, guys. Ugh. Thanks for the nightmares, B.
Right.
There we go. Hey. It's from Thailand, Philippines area. Okay. Anyways, a hell of a conversation. Shout out to my patrons. You can't read them, but their names are right here.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
Hey, there we go. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Their names. There we go. Shout out to all my patrons, guys. If you're looking for some behind-the-scenes content, if you're looking for grow classes, if you're looking for just hitting me up and having a direct link to my pocket, you can hit me up over on Patreon. We also go over gardens from Patreon every Sunday at 10:30. No earlier than 10:30. Over on Twitch, twitch.tv/pigeons420. So if you want to check that out, that's patreon.com/pigeons420. I appreciate your faces. Cheers, dudes.
Yes, Reginald, that's what it's called. The balut.
All
I
right.
don't know. I couldn't bring myself to try it.
That's okay.
I do, and
That's
I love.
okay.
Little P is like me, where like he wants to travel to all kinds of places to try foods. He's a foodie too, so I just got to get P to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're
Snipper,
getting
good to see you, man.
We're getting there.
Shout out, I saw Elliot from Vivo Sun in the chat too, man. Good to see you back there in the crowd. I
Yes.
see you. Good to see you, man. Thanks for pulling up, man. Thanks for everybody for pulling up. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into tonight's guest, Sam from You Feel You. Let's check it out.
Come on and lift your glass. You want your own free pass to be our guest. If you're stressed, it's fine dining we suggest. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
Sam, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me today. I'm really excited to dive into something maybe a little bit different on the wellness side of cannabis with you.
Dude, I'm excited about this. I have to be honest. I do not spend a lot of time navigating or speaking to the Canadian cannabis market or industry and community, and it's a shame of that I have. So I'm actually quite excited to be able to dive into this because you are the CEO of a very well-established Canadian brand, and I'm very excited. If you wouldn't mind, for those that don't know, just a little bit about who you are and how you got here.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Sam. I'm one of the founders of You Feel You. We've been operating in the regulated cannabis space, the legal space now for just over 3 years. Prior to that, our current brand was a existing brand in the pre-legalization space, legacy, whatever you want to call it. So I've been in the CBD space now 7-8 years. And also was involved in other aspects of cannabis before as well, in terms of other types of products as well. But we've really found our niche, and we're really focusing on CBD and wellness. And so, You Feel You specifically, it's in the name. You feel you, as in you feel yourself. So we're focusing on the non-intoxicating compounds in cannabis, so CBD and minor cannabinoids, terpenes without the THC. But also You Feel You because we want to create products to help people feel their best selves. So if you're anxious, if you're not sleeping, if you're in pain, these are all obstructions to feeling your best self. And we're trying to use the non-intoxicating compounds in cannabis to create those solutions. So it's kind of a little bit of a double entendre there.
That's wild. Okay. And I got to be honest with you. I'm sure like most people, I'm familiar with the obvious cannabinoids, the THC, the CBD. I can do CBN and CBG, but then really my knowledge of terpenes or cannabinoids kind of evaporates, and I'm not too familiar with the healing properties of a lot of these. How did you get into minor cannabinoids?
Yeah, so our original iteration of the brand, which was called Feel CBD, that we operated in pre-legalization, we were working. So when we launched the brand originally, what we were seeing was CBD products were just being marketed and created and formulated as a one size fits all. So like, whether you need something for sleep or pain or anxiety, it was just kind of like, hey, here's a CBD product. And we thought like there was enough research being done that we could differentiate products for niche specific uses, whether that's concentration of dosage, whether that's involving certain terpenes. This was like the first iteration of the brand didn't dive much into minor cannabinoids. It was more terpene focused. And then when we transitioned into the regulated space, there was just more research, more also commercial availability to different minor cannabinoids like CBG and CBN. And so we thought this would just be a nice way to level up and progress our brand and drive towards the vision that we're seeking. I think when we create these products, they're all experience based. So like we have our calm drops, we have our rest drops. They're all experience based, and we're always trying to refine them and make them better, because honestly, the science isn't fully there to like. I think our products could look very different in 5 years, same experiences but refined and improved. So that was kind of the thought process with involving those minor cannabinoids, is just really hyper focusing on those experiences and also paying respect to the CBD consumer the same way we pay respect to the THC consumer. Because as a THC consumer, you can go and have an experience. It's not just like, oh, here's one type of THC product for all your cannabis needs. It's always like, hey, do you want a bounce? Do you want an indica? Do you want a sativa? Are there certain terpenes you're looking for? You know what I mean? It's like, and those all can drive an experience. And we strongly believe without THC and for wellness purposes, you can do the same thing with CBD products.
That's very interesting. I'm curious because when I first, like when Canada went legal, you saw CBD in everything, man. I saw CBD pillowcases. I saw CBD curtains. Are you offering any CBD pillowcases?
No, honestly, I think there was that crazy CBD rush, and I think a lot of it actually started in the U.S. with the Farm Bill, and I think it almost like, to an extent, delegitimized CBD, and there's still like repair being done to that, because we basically had a compound that has so much, therapeutic value, and then you start putting it in applications that don't make sense, and it's kind of like, then it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, is this hippie stuff or is this actually medical? And really, like, there's a lot of research, and there's more research coming out on CBD and CBG and CBN and CBC on their therapeutic values. And yeah, no. So we're really focused on, we have oils, and oils was the first kind of lineup we built out. And the reason we did that is oils are the most economical way to get cannabinoid content, because you're basically taking raw cannabinoid content and you're diluting it into a carrier oil, so it's easier to dose. So that's what we built out. We have tablets as well. We have two options, like a daytime and a nighttime, a focus and a dream. And those actually employ a different technology called nano emulsification, which can make the products fast acting. They could basically, the cannabinoid content can enter your bloodstream in 20 minutes approximately. So a bit of a different format there. We have a topical like roll-on stick. And then, yeah, we're developing some other formats as well, but like, yeah, we're not, no pillowcases, definitely not pillowcases.
That's really exciting, man. Okay, so you've got something for the day. So say that again. It was day and dream?
Focus and dream
Focus.
Is our options for our tablets. And that's partially because like, and that's kind of one of the, especially talking about the uniqueness of the Canadian cannabis space, compared to, say, the US. You have a state like California, which is the population of Canada. In Canada, you have 10 provinces, 3 territories, and each one has a different, unique way of distributing your products. So you don't have access to all of Canada by being in Canada. You have to slowly open up those. So you don't have access to the whole population, meaning you don't have market maturity in terms of your run rates right away. You have to build up to it. So to commercialize these products and have multiple options it's difficult. So that's why we started with the daytime and the nighttime for the tablets. And then we can kind of fill out and kind of, create some more unique experiences once we've built out our distribution with those products. But yeah, it's like, Ontario is, 10, 12 million people. That's a third of the size of California. And this is a niche category as well. That's another challenge is in Canada specific, CBD is only sold in recreational cannabis stores, which is really, if you think about it, kind of weird because CBD products generally, the consumer profile tends to be elderly, people that are struggling with sleep, with mood, with pain. And a lot of those consumers, they're dealing with a lot of stigma. And the last place they'll go is a recreational cannabis store where you walk in and you see vapes and you see, it's just a full on like overwhelming stigma experience. So that's another challenge that's really unique that we've been navigating as a brand the last few years is how do we work with our retail partners to bring in a consumer that might have a lot of stigma coming into that store to come in that store, or how do we meet them where they are, whether that's delivery or online and there's like, just navigating the complexities of the legalization, that how Canada did it, and then the province by province rules, because things can be so different from one province to another. Like, and sorry if I'm rambling a bit here, but Manitoba, for example, retailers can stick things in Canada Post and mail anywhere in Manitoba. So that's really good for reaching seniors, especially in small towns or elder communities. Whereas in any other province, I think maybe BC has it that way as well, but Ontario, there isn't that option. And so finding ways to work through these retailers to reach that end consumer, it's really it's a constant, like, being creative and a lot of collaboration.
Dude, okay, first of all, I had no idea. You can't put weed in the mail in Ontario?
No, so there's the OCS, which is the Ontario Cannabis Store, which is the basically it acts in twofold. So number one, it's the central distribution for all the retailers. So there's 1,600 retailers right now, or a bit more than that, in Ontario. And so if you want to get your product into Ontario, you have to get listed with the board. So you have to talk to their buyers. And then once you get in there, stores can then order your product. So they control distribution, similar to like a liquor board. And then they actually have the only online website. So the OCS themselves can mail direct to consumer. It's ocs.ca. And so, but there's no, like, if you're not able, like in other industries or in other markets, for example, like you're in Manitoba, if one store is not, willing to bring us in, we could work with another store, and that store can mail orders. So like, for example, like all of our products are across all Flamingo stores in Manitoba, and they can be accessed through mail order. So when you're not able to work with a central board or a government board, it basically limits your opportunity to access clients in different ways. It has to only then be through the retail stores. So yeah, just different challenges, and every province is so different, which makes it like what you do in Ontario is different than Saskatchewan, as Manitoba, as Alberta, as BC. It's like managing like 12 different countries, basically, if you want full distribution across this country.
That's not going to make anything easy at all, of course.
Yeah, but it also, like, the cool thing about it, and it's one of those things that you appreciate once you figure out, is then if your competitor is coming to market and trying to compete with you, they have to go through all those challenges you had. So sometimes the path least traveled is the path most successful too, right?
It's a really good point, actually. Yeah, everyone has to play on the same field. That's a really good point. Really good point.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious too. Like, what, like, 'cause you have a number of stores across the country, yes?
So we are working with across BC, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and New Brunswick. We're working with about 900 stores. So like they have like either one or more of our products across 900 stores. I think there's about 3,500 stores across Canada in general. So like basically close to like 1 out of 3 stores in Canada are carrying some form of one of our products right now.
Oh, that's great. Good for you. And you know what? Going through that path, as you said, it can be a pain in the ass, but it's probably well worth it when you have access to such a large amount of consumers, really, and access to the market. So it's 900 stores is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, and we're constantly growing and chipping away at it. One of the challenges, especially when our category, it's a low velocity category compared to, say, the regular stuff sold in a recreational store, like the actual recreational products. So we actually, for us to be successful, we have to build wider, knowing our velocity is slower, if that makes sense.
Yep, that makes sense. So walk me through, like, I know how I extract THC from bud. I used to do BHO, butane hash oil, but then it moved more towards like rosin. A lot of people are pressing these days. What does the extraction process look like for minor cannabinoids? Is it similar?
Yes and no. So I can kind of just walk through a bit of our supply chain here. So we're not actually, as a company, we're a brand. And we work with licensed partners to basically bring together the components of our products and put it together based on our formulations. So the CBD component of all of our products, like, we're not single strain origin, we're actually bringing together CBG with CBD and custom terpenes, and like, so we're kind of mad scientists in that way. But all the CBD, we actually work with a partner in Saskatchewan called Endless Sky. And they have they're one of the biggest like commercial grade sized CO2 extractors of CBD distillate. And so we source the CBD distillate that's like that they extract. That's like, I would say 65% CBD, couple percent THC, other minor cannabinoids, terpenes, all that. And then we work with another partner to take that distillate and remediate the THC out, so it's a tea-free product. So we're hanging on to a lot of those compounds from the original source material, but we're getting rid of that THC to a level that it's no longer detectable by a lab. And then that's the base of all of our formulations. And then CBG, it's extracted from a hemp strain from another partner, Panacea, which is an outdoor hemp cultivar. And then that goes to extraction to CBG distillate. And then they isolate the CBG out. So we're using a CBG isolate that we blend into our CBD, our broad spectrum THC free CBD distillate. I know that's a mouthful. CBN we work with as well. Commercially, all CBN is basically it is a solvent based process where you're basically using you're creating a reaction on a THC distillate to convert all the THC to CBN, basically fast tracking the oxidization process that normally happens with THC to CBN. And that's how like CBN isolate is created. So anytime you see CBN in any product in Canada or even the US, it's usually through a solvent-based process to convert. And then we also work with CBC. We're one of the only brands right now working with CBC, and that's extracted from a different hemp cultivar called Painted Lady, which is then processed into distillate and then isolation.
Wow. So these facilities are working entirely on minor cannabinoids, I would then assume?
So I mean, we have probably one of the most complex supply chains right now in Canada. But yeah, so our CBD distillate comes from one group. Our minor cannabinoids, we have 2 or 3 partners, because minor cannabinoids, it's a building category, and everybody who's like involved in this space is doing it out of the love and the excitement for it. And so with that, there's a lot of supply chain shortages if you just only work with one partner. So we have 2 or 3 partners. So if one doesn't have something, another does. So we cycle through that way. And then, yeah, our custom terpenes, we work with another partner based in Europe. We use like plant-based terpenes, not cannabis-derived terpenes. But we custom formulate and we choose terpenes based on their functional benefits, and then also layer in that flavor component as well, especially oils. Just want to make the products a little bit more approachable, where our main consumer is elderly. A lot of them have, they struggle with the taste or the texture of these oils. So we really try to do what we can to make sure our products taste good, the texture's nice, there's no side effects. Like we actually use, for example, our oils, we use sunflower oil, opposed to like the whole industry uses MCT oil. And a lot of people find that upsets their stomach because it's a saturated fat. So we're using an unsaturated fat in sunflower oil. So yeah, we have quite a complex supply chain, and we're just kind of pulling things together and formulating some really unique products.
Interesting. And I would imagine one of the toughest aspects of this is education, trying to teach people the benefits of this medicine or these cannabinoids. How do you struggle with that? How do you try to make people aware of the benefits?
Yeah, honestly, it's we have to work very closely with retail partners, and that's the funny part. Just kind of going back to how Canada works, for us to commercialize a product, we have to first sell it into the province, and then we have to and that's speaking one language, speaking to the category manager at a province who's just looking at data and numbers, and they're not necessarily interested in the details. They just want to know, will it sell or won't it sell, basically. So that's like, we have to basically market our products one way to get it sold that way, and then to move it to the store, we have to have conversations with the corporate buyers or the independent buyers of the stores, which are store managers or, owners, and they think one way. And so then that gets the product on the shelf. And then once it's on the shelf, we have to have a completely different way of speaking to the bud tenders because they get excited about different things than the provinces and the store owners. So basically, to successfully commercialize a product in Canadian cannabis, you have to speak 3 languages. You have to speak, board, buyer, bud tender, like across all 3, right? So that's something, and these are all things because this is a new industry. Like we're one of the first to legalize. And yeah, I think it's all things that like we started doing 3.5 years ago, got really overwhelmed, saw the gaps, started to like solving problems, starting to realize, hey, we can't speak to this person the same way we speak to this person, and problem solving, right? So it's just a lot of that. It's just a lot of different communication. Like there's also like a lot of cool businesses developing to support these challenges in Canada now because you need innovation. So like there's a group that we work with closely on education called Spiffy, where they actually have modules you can put up and like have bud tenders can take quizzes on your products and like read about them and learn about them. So there's a lot of different there's a lot of challenges in this space, but a lot of passionate people trying to come up with solutions and then different, working on different things. We do like a lot of product knowledge sessions with the stores we work on, just like, Google Meets and just like presenting our products. There's education sampling. We could send, samples to the bud tenders to try the products and experience them themselves. So it's just like we've been like developing these tools and refining these tools as we go along and as we see things work more effectively than others.
That's awesome. That is very exciting. I think it's I think it's very fascinating too that you say you have to speak 3 different languages because you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's levels to this, and if no bud tender is going to listen to the legalese or the real heavy science, if you will, or the marketability of your product, they want to hear about the effect. They want to hear about how this is going to impact the consumer. They want to know the application processes, the doses, and yeah, I never actually thought of it that way. And really, it's like you can speak the first 2 levels, but then once you get to the bud tender, your product being on the shelf is half the battle. You just got it there. Now it's got to stand out. It's got to differentiate itself between all the other products. But more importantly, you need somebody who's going to push that product, someone who knows about that product. So yeah, speaking that language of the bud tender is very, very important.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm curious when it comes to you and your journey, how did you come across weed in general? Like when you first started, how did you get onto weed?
Yeah, so I mean, probably similar to a lot of people in Canada, you're around it in high school. I think the first time I smoked, I was in like, I want to say grade 9 or 10. All my friends started smoking before me, and then like I ended up trying it. I didn't get high the first few times. I think the 4th time, I got really high and I got really overwhelmed. I didn't enjoy it. I was like, we were at a park and I couldn't even walk, and it was just like greening out basically. But yeah, like over time, just like experimented a bit more. I was always more of a casual consumer, not a heavy consumer. But yeah, just kind of, on the weekends with friends kind of thing was kind of how it started for me.
How do you consume now? Because I know you are active, you're busy, you're CEO. I'm sure you've got a few people that work with and around and under you. How do you use now to keep you going, keep you motivated?
Yeah, honestly, right now, like in Canada, I'm not sure. I'm less familiar with the U.S. market, but I think it's happening there too, where it's like THC inflation. All the like flower is not like flower that like it used to be. Like I know, pre-legalization or even like when we first legalized in Canada, most flower was kind of in that 15 to 20% THC range, and now it's like coming in at 30% plus. And with that, like I'm finding that's too much for me personally. So and then yeah, like we've actually started and launching a spin-off brand called High Fill You, which is like we're really trying to create some cool balance options because we feel like that's kind of a missing gap in the market right now. So like I would say I'm more of a balanced consumer. Like I kind of like that products that are in that 12-13% THC range. Also, I've always dealt with asthma, and like when I smoke, I cough like up along like for like an hour. And so like that actually kind of sparked us to kind of look into, different ways around smoking for that. So we actually partnered with this group called Hybrid Supreme Filters. And I don't know if do you know those Moose Lab activated carbon? Yeah, that right there, exactly. So we basically have that same technology on our pre-rolls that are like, and then we basically have balanced flower with that, and makes it a really smooth smoke, that activated carbon or charcoal. Really, really nice on the throat, and like I could smoke one of those, end to end and barely cough. So yeah, like that's kind of where my consumption's at. I've gone through journeys, like we used to like I was involved in the legacy space, and like I did product development and formulation and like even just like some sales for everything from like rosin vapes, resin vapes, everything. So I've tried a bit of everything. I've tried, concentrates, all that. I've always kind of I've always been asthmatic, so I always regretted it after. But yeah, for me right now, I've kind of settled on kind of like balanced products for me.
Smart, man. Smart. You know what? I was turned on to these. I got a buddy, Chris from Black Tie Vapor, and I think I think you've met, or you're
I know
familiar?
Chris. Yeah.
Good friend of mine. And he
Nice.
he hooked me up with these, and I, quite frankly, it wasn't the filters. They go real quick. I threw them, or I didn't throw them out, but I got rid of them real quick. But I use it because I'm more of a bong guy myself, and I find the resin from ripping a bong gets caught up on the side of my lips, and it's nasty. And not to mention the tops of the bongs can be so wide, and I ain't got no prison lips, so it's like it's tough for me, to get my whole mouth around there. So yeah, this thing helps me just get a good rip inside my lips, no mess, no nastiness, and I'm a huge proponent of them. I love these things.
The craziest part, if you actually take one of our filters after you use them and you cut it up and you look at it compared to one that's not used, you just see how much it actually pulls in. And it's crazy, like that, to see that stuff didn't get into your lungs when you smoke it. Because I know like and this is kind of like, I guess a little bit controversial. Like a lot of people are very passionate about getting every single part of the plant into their body. But like, I think we're doing it also a disservice, not acknowledging that there are carcinogens in here. We're lighting something on fire and smoking it, right? So anything we can do to kind of, create a healthier alternative for those who want it, I think it's really important.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. And the key that you said there is for those that want it. You don't want it, don't use it. It's just that simple. And quite frankly, if you're telling me that you have I don't have asthma, and I don't have any kind of lung issues yet, heaven forbid. If you're telling me that you, with asthma, notice a difference between smoking one with and one without a filter, I think that's pretty conclusive evidence for me to know that there's at least some impact to some people. I didn't even think about that. I just figured that it was just for like a smoother hit, and ripping it out of a bong. I don't know. I honestly, I bought this thing so long ago. It came with 3 carbon filter things. I used them up within like a week or so, and I never tried them again. So I never even did any kind of like experimental research or nothing. I just really enjoy the piece. But I'd be curious to know if like ripping out on bong, you'd see that kind of difference. It's interesting. I never even thought about it. I never even thought about it that way. It's crazy how where the science has gone, particularly with a market. And do you, kind of just segueing off that, do you find that the science or the research on CBD and minor cannabinoids is too limited, or needs to be explored more, or do you think that we're at a good balance right now?
No, there's so much to do. We have so far to go, because at the end of the day, these in both Canada and the US, you're talking about, for the most part, controlled substances for the better part of, like up until recently. So with that, when things are controlled, they're less likely to be researched. And then on top of that, it's you can't really patent CBD or minor cannabinoids, and that also most of the research done in general when it comes to these kind of studies are done by pharmaceutical companies, and if they can't patent something, they don't want to put money behind it. So there's so much more research to go. Like the research on CBD, I would say it's at a pretty robust space, but when it comes to the minor cannabinoids, CBG, CBN, CBC, it's still very, very limited. And it's honestly like there's some products that we create where it's very anecdotal when we create these products. Like we obviously create them and we get a lot of people to sample them and we get a lot of feedback. But like transparently, we can't confidently say yet, because the research isn't there yet, that it's gonna perfectly do what we're intending it to do. But when we sample enough people and enough people react positively to it, that's enough for us to want to at least. And again, like I said, like everything we create it's like we're creating what we can to the best of our ability now. And if there's better ways to do it a year or two from now, whether that's adjusting a dosage or including a different minor cannabinoid or adjusting a certain terpene in the formulation, we're going to do that. So we think it's better to have the option and then refine.
Smart. You probably already said this. What are the main cannabinoids that you're working with?
So I think outside of CBD, CBG is probably the most prevalent in our formulations. I think I'd have to check, but almost outside of I think 3 or 4, I think 6 of our products have CBG in there. A few of our products have CBN and a few of our products have CBC. CBN tends to be more nighttime specific products. So we have it in anything that's nighttime specific. And then CBC, what we're finding, so the research on CBC is really around inflammation from a medical perspective. But what we're also finding is a lot of reports from consumers around CBC having a bit of an uplifting effect, kind of like a matcha kind of little buzz to it. And it also can prevent people from being able to sleep at night. So like taking it earlier in the day is preferable. So we tend to kind of focus more of our daytime products or experiences towards CBC and our nighttime products towards CBN. And CBG kind of works, like it can work both ways pretty well. CBG, a lot of the effects of CBG people are finding are inflammation and mood. So mood can be something that, like a benefit of mood can apply to a daytime or a nighttime experience.
Okay. So when you say that, like at the moment, your primary customer base is the elderly, correct? That's what you're
a large part, yeah. And medical, like we work with like there's another distribution channel outside of recreational, which is the medical cannabis framework from pre-legalization in Canada. So we work within that as well too, which is a lot of veterans and a lot of medical patients too. But yeah, like I would say, and it's not just specific to our brand, it's more the category consumers that are generally gravitating towards CBD and minor cannabinoids, and specifically THC-free products tend to be of an older demographic.
And for me, I'm thinking immediately when you said that, I'm thinking athletes could be benefiting from this. Construction, where anyone who's doing heavy labor could benefit from this. And when you talk about CBC, it's like immediately what came to mind is like Red Bull. It's like, is there any like way that you could utilize CBC to like, if it doesn't help to sleep, well then it obviously for trademark reasons I can't say it gives you wings, but I naturally would think that if you're doing anything where you need to be alert, you need to be awake and focused, police, military, anything like that, any alert, or teachers, nurses. So it's like I see a wide variety of demographic that could really benefit from this, because our bodies ache in so many ways, and our minds are so overloaded with stress and anxiety and depression, because we're all human beings and we deal with all those same things. We all need minor cannabinoids.
Yeah, 100%. So two things. So it's funny you say focus, because that's actually two of our products. We have our focus drops, or our oil, and then focus moments, which is our tablet format. But further to that, I would say, like, honestly, any consumer, even a regular heavy THC consumer, can benefit from minor cannabinoids, because, I mean, first of all cannabis has minor cannabinoids in it. It's just how much does it have? And so when you increase, the potency of different minor cannabinoids, that alongside with terpenes is what's shaping and shifting your experience. So like, even like an experienced consumer can take a bong rip and pop a focus moment and like game out, for example, right? There's a lot of applications for this for existing consumers, but at the same time, right now, what we're finding is that door's not very completely open. Like, usually, like, it's funny, like, a lot of the conversation right now is like, are you a THC consumer or a CBD consumer? I really think in the next 5-10 years, these like two separate areas of consumers are going to start blending together. We're going to see more CBD consumers integrating little bits of THC into their experiences, and we're also going to see more THC consumers integrating more CBD and minor cannabinoids. And I think it's all going to come together. I just think we're just so early in this like journey right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've been saying for years that 1-to-1s, like a 1-to-1 is going to be, it's going to be the number one seller, because people want both. People don't want 30% THC. Most people, in my opinion, don't want 30% THC, because I can honestly say is I love a bong rip. I loved a good punch in the face, it's like, and it needs to sit me down before it picks me up. And it's like, there's even still a spot where it's like, I could utilize all these other experiences, the entourage effect. There's 10, 15% THCs out there that have smacked me, because there's just so much more in that effect. There's so much more in that entourage. So it's like, yes, more people should be using more cannabinoids. And like I said, 1-to-1s are, if they're not already, they're going to be the future, because you said it, CBD users and THC users, they're gonna come together, because we're gonna start to realize that we can get the best experience utilizing an array of cannabinoids.
For sure. And not to, again, this can sometimes be perceived as controversial. But at the end of the day, what we're experiencing right now with legalization is the shift towards cannabis as a consumer packaged good, CPG, right? And with that, whether you look at other controlled CPG like tobacco or alcohol, the light products are the ones that really crush it. If you get outside of controlled and you look at, for example, like there was Coke, and then there was Diet Coke, and then there was Coke Zero, right? So like, there's whether it's controlled or not controlled, there's always the development of the market and the consumer, and then from there it further segments out into different pockets. And I don't think we're there yet when it comes to CBD and minor cannabinoids, but we're shifting there. You mentioned Balance, products right now, they don't do well in Canada. But we are seeing a shift to that. Like, our products are starting to really get some momentum right now as well. I think also one of the things I'm working on with another owner of another brand, Light Label, his name's Grant, is really like the term balance is an industry term that we, like myself or you, might use commonly, and we understand what that means. But if you're a new consumer, say you're a 60-year-old, mother that has never, grandmother at that age probably, that has never use cannabis and you muster up the courage to walk into a cannabis recreational store and you're feeling all the stigma and they throw this word balance at you, what does balance mean, right? Is it a balance of sativa and indica? Like, it's kind of like, it's an industry term that we expect everybody to understand, but it doesn't really make sense for a new consumer. And what we've been really, Grant and myself have been really working on is working with stores to market and speak of this category of product as light instead of balance, because light is a common word used in other controlled substance industries for consumer packaged goods like alcohol or tobacco, where it's more relatable in that sense. If you say, hey, this is a regular option, this is a light option, the new consumer is going to understand what you're talking about. So just I think words matter, and it kind of goes to all the way back to what we originally said, is like how you talk to the the provincial board is different than the buyer, which is different than the bud tender, which is also might be different than the consumer.
Of course it would be. Of course it would be. And you know what? I drink Miller Lite. And it just seems to be, yeah, you're right, that it just the words matter. And that's very interesting, the way that you put it that way, because, as someone who markets their product, it's something that you should be keen on. Do you find it difficult with the Canadian landscape around regulation for advertising, difficult to get the word of your product out?
Yeah, I mean, with how strict the regulations are, we've gotten away from speaking to the end consumer, and what we do is we really work with, I would say, the bud tenders more than anything to identify the potential consumer. So it's just a different way of thinking. So it is a challenge, but it's kind of, you could sit there and get frustrated at it, but at the end of the day, all the other brands have to experience it as well. And hopefully that changes over time. But until it changes, like, you can only get angry and upset so long before you realize, like, you're wasting your time. This is, the game is a game. Mm-hmm. You just got to play it, right? So we've kind of just really focused on what we believe works, and that's really investing into the front line, the bud tenders. That's where we find the most success on finding our consumers, because they're the closest to them.
Good. Well, you know what? It excites me that you focus on the bud tender, because my experience as someone who's, I'm not even going to say an amateur. I home grow. I've been home growing for 15 years. Feels like forever. And when I walk into a dispensary, the words that come out of a bud tender's mouth make the hair on my neck stand up, and it sounds like nails on a chalkboard, because the first thing they'll ask you is, are you looking for indica or sativa? And that right there just immediately informs me that they have no idea what they're talking about, because the concept of indica sativa is primarily lost, and the explanation of them, or at least the definition of them, can really only come down to growth characteristics only, because to find pure sativas and pure indicas can be done, but is not being done. So I just don't like...
It's a hybrid these days.
Right. So it excites me to hear that there is investment in the bud tenders, because at this very moment, you can walk into any dispensary and very quickly they're going to ask you something about indica and sativa, and that loses me. It loses me fast, because it's just, that's not the conversation. And then so another thing that I have an issue with is that the bud tenders don't have the opportunity to sample, or at least get a good idea of the products before they sell them. A, because they come in and out real fast. B, because I know owners don't always want to give up this product for price. So then it's tough to, and not to mention, I'm kind of rambling myself here, but it's a rant more than anything, because if my experience talking to bud tenders is frustrating. So there are excuses for that in terms of why, and I think it's because they are not being invested in, and I think that they don't know or are unaware of the array of cannabinoids, or even the array of consumers. Do you find that at all? We're in different provinces.
think-
So this, like, I'm in Manitoba,
so-
you're in Ontario, so this could be different. But I get this even in America. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So in terms of every province, they have actually different regulations and rules for sampling. So Manitoba specifically is one of the stricter provinces on getting samples into bud tenders' hands. So that's like what you're saying there lines up with kind of where you're at. Ontario's pretty good on sampling, so like we're able to really sample really like well in Ontario, and then every province is a bit different. Like there's just everything's controlled from the provincial level, so it's the provincial government setting the rules. So yeah, that's definitely one challenge, and also like it's funny because like we have to service different stores in different provinces different ways because of different rules,
Of course.
which is obviously a bit of a challenge. But yeah, honestly, like bud tenders, I find are some of the most eager. Like they're sponges and they're wanting information. They're not just a lot of the time the information is just not readily available or being provided, or they're not being invested in to buy the store they're working at. And what I find is there's a lot of eagerness. And in terms of questions, you said like the indica sativa question drives you mad. The one that drives me the craziest, if somebody says they're interested in a pre-roll, is, oh, do you want infused or non-infused? And it's like, holy smokes. I'm a huge fan of like, I think if a customer comes in and they're like, I think a good place to start is like, what are you doing today? What kind of vibe are you going for? And then trying to, suggest a product that fits that vibe of the consumer. And then obviously seeing where their price, like, where the budget is for the consumer. Do you want something a little more high end, low end? I think that's a better way to go about it. And I think you're more likely to give the customer what they're looking for, even if it's not what they thought they were looking for in terms of a good experience, by going about it that way. And I hope that happens more over time, and I think it will. But yeah, I completely agree with you. There's a long way to go.
Dude, and that excites me, man. It's because it should be people like yourself, companies like yourself that are investing in the front line, because it is very easy to lose products on a shelf. Very easy. It happens all the time. And so that excites me, because the experience that the consumer gets should be one of, excitement, one where you can get your questions answered, and of certainty. You should be able to walk into the dispensary and not necessarily get what you were looking for, but get what's gonna fit your needs. So that it excites me that you're invested in that, because that's what we need. And I can see the frustration in terms of why it would be difficult to kind of get everyone on the same page across province to province to province, because you've got regulations. And I didn't know, of course, that dispensaries can't have or can't allow their employees to sample and stuff. I thought it would be I thought it'd be a must. I thought that would be how it goes. I can walk into a liquor mart and get a sample of as a consumer can get a sample of anything off the shelf. Pretty close anyways. I was curious that you can't do that with weed.
Yeah, so I don't believe there's actually, for end consumer in Canada, I don't think there's any allowance of any sampling in any province. So like consumers, just not at all. And then stores, bud tenders, it's different province by province. Most now, like, and everything is moving in the right direction. So the ones that don't are starting to open up slowly, because they're seeing other provinces have success with it and different, but yeah, it's definitely, it's crazy like how locked down things are. And it's funny too, because in some provinces where the rules are stricter, you'll still have stores expecting samples. And so they're basically leaving it on the brands to figure out how that's sorted out in a way that the brands don't get in trouble for. And it's like, but it's like, yeah, it's I think we're basically, as Canada, we're the experiment. Like we're the first large country to legalize cannabis. So I think a lot of countries are going to look at what we're doing a couple of years from now and be like, well, that worked, but I don't think these things worked. We're not going to do those things. So yeah, like I think it's just, one thing I think right away off the top is like the province by province distribution to me. I wish there was just a way to just nationally distribute because brands would be like more successful when allowed to have like if you're able to speak to the whole population, say 40 or just north of 40 million in Canada, opposed to a slice of it, businesses are more likely to succeed just from that alone. Um, so yeah, so like I hope long term there's a faster way or a more streamlined way to be able to do that. But in the meantime, it is what it is, and you navigate it.
You're 100 you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. And one thing you said earlier in regards to, advertising and finding a spot for your product in the world, it's you can sit and you can bitch and complain and whine about it, or you can just try to figure out how to work within the confines, try to play the game. You see it, we have the rules, right? That's one thing. We can see the rules. So it's not like they're like I play a game on YouTube or social media in general where it's like you can't see the rules that they hold us to. They're just kind of like ambiguous and very vague. And so Instagram can delete us and YouTube can delete us without happening. But at least in a legal market, we have the rules. We have it laid out for us, and either you can sit back and cry about it or work with it and try to figure it out. I've spoken with a lot of brands, or a few brands in Canada in regards to branding, and a lot of them, it's underwhelming how lackluster advertising or branding can be, and not branding in terms of just the look of your product, but how you present yourself to the world is very lackluster. Because I feel like a lot of brands are just kind of like playing the game and not trying to build a presence. And that goes with social media, that goes with outreach. But like you said, in regards to investing in the bud tender, that's investing in the community, making yourself known, sponsoring events, and so on and so forth. Do you see again, I'm in a different province, so things are a little bit different here. Do you see that in Ontario as well, or is there a little more willingness to put a brand out there and tell the story?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're talking about just a lot of startups all at the same time, basically, right? And so I think that's basically what happened. And then obviously when there's restrictions and people push them and they get in trouble from Health Canada or their Instagram gets shut down, you've got to kind of diversify where you direct your investment to make sure you're getting consistent ROI, or you're not stressed out about your Instagram getting shut down. So I think there are a lot of great brands starting to develop now. Now that people are willing to kind of bend the rules or push it a bit. We're seeing events honestly all across Canada. In Manitoba specifically, there's an event twice a year called Token Tuesday, which is phenomenal. I've been out the last few and they just do such a great job. But there's events in Ontario, like there's one called Kind, and it's like literally thousands of bud tenders at this point. And it's like I think this last year they had like a couple musical artists and everything. So like events are starting to develop. I think the main challenge for events is, again, it's all industry related because there's no point in doing events for consumers because you can't sample to consumers. So I think that's something that's going to eventually change regulatory wise, is finding a way for consumers to be able to participate, because that's going to create a new way to market. Because it's one thing to not be able to like, for example, like beer gardens at concerts, like it'd be cool to have that equivalency for cannabis. So like these cannabis events don't have to be isolated; they can be integrated into music festivals. So yeah, like I think that's kind of where we're at on the event side. In terms of branding, I think it's a regulatory thing. Most brands that I see are really geared towards creating a brand to excite the bud tenders, so the bud tenders are excited to sell the product. And that makes sense because that's the best, most effective way to sell right now. I think a lot of it is held back from regulatory, and everybody's just kind of guiding how they invest their dollars accordingly to be most effective. And I haven't really seen any brands effectively target the end consumer to build the brand. It's usually, and it's not to say that you don't have any layers at all targeted towards that. Like we've worked with some of our retail partners to, visit retirement homes and speak to old people and do presentations. And so we have talked to the end consumer, but you can't really build a business in this industry that way. It's like, it's something you can test out and try, but like really the biggest ROI right now is the dealing with the buyers and dealing with the bud tenders.
Okay, that's very insightful, because you know what? As a consumer, I would never see that. So it's like to hear that there is a successful method to work around the regulations, and that method is to on the back end, it's to ensure that everyone is excited and knowledgeable about the product to push the product. So that's good, because I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't see that. And because for me, I picture a "You Feel You" billboard with nothing more than like a sport athlete's, maybe like a shoe with a high sock, and it just says "You Feel You," and they're sweating or something. I could just see it. That's it, and it's like,
yeah.
And that's not allowed, correct?
It's not, because anything that depicts lifestyle is currently not allowed under the regulations.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But could you target occupation?
So so number one, if you're doing any kind of marketing, it has to be age gated. So like, I'm not sure if like you've ever gone to a bar and you've seen like in the bathroom in the stall is cannabis advertising. That's because that's been validated as age gated, because to get into the bar, you have to be 19 plus, for example. In terms of, I guess you're asking more, is that kind of material allowed? Yeah, as long as there's no people basically in there, you could, it would have to be creative. So like, yeah, for example, if you're trying to target nail estheticians, I'm sure you could have a hand there and like some like, stuff there. It's all gray area at the end of the day right now.
Yeah,
it's like you don't know when Health Canada's gonna, and so it's like generally when it's gray area, like there's some people that are pushing it a bit more, and then there's some people that are just kind of like don't want to get slapped. And for us specifically, we're on the very cautious side.
I get it, and that makes sense. You have a brand. You don't want to. Health Canada doesn't F around. They'll throw fines at you, and they won't think twice about it. And you know what? I play the same game on YouTube. I love the gray area. I really do. It's kind of where I like to exist, because it's like you can really push the boundaries there, but it comes with limits and it comes with consequences. And so it's like, if you're really trying to make the most waves, maybe facing those consequences all the time isn't necessarily because there's no publicity with messing with Health Canada. It's not like it's not like you're up against the man. These stories don't make headlines, so it's not like it's like, let's back You Feel You because they're going up against Health Canada. Nobody would even know. So yeah, I could see the hesitation. But I like how you said it. It's the creative, though. There is something there. There's something that could balance that line. I just think America, it's such a free for all. You've got brands like Cookies. You've got, well, for lack of a better example, Dan Bilzerian's Ignite. That one was just women and boobs, and it was just like, wow, and very little weed. It's just a free for all. And then you look over here, and it's like you have these brands that are constantly working behind a curtain. And it's like, here, find us. But really all you're seeing is just movement behind a curtain. There's no real nothing in front of it. And it would present challenges inevitably, for sure. But I do see that you have a social media page. I saw your Instagram page, and it's got some movement. It's got some traction. You guys got quite a following over there. So social media is the first big step, because there is no regulation, right? You can have a social media page. Is Health Canada going to regulate your content on there?
No, we've had warnings on certain types of content from Health Canada that we posted on Instagram, but then also on Instagram, you're worried, just anybody in the industry is worried about your page getting shut down and you losing your followers. So like, we've actually lost our account once, and then we were able to dispute it and we got it back. but yeah, like it's like we have in the past pushed the boundaries a bit on Instagram. We used to do a little bit more lifestyle stuff, but like I think we got a warning when we basically had like a recipe showing how you could use your oils in a smoothie recipe to like create a pre-workout smoothie, and Health Canada didn't like that because they're showing because oils are, and it was a weird rule actually. It was pretty funny. They didn't like that we were positioning our concentrates as an edible. So like they were saying like, oh, you're misclassifying how you're marketing your products.
Ugh.
As once you put the oil in the blender and you blend it with everything, it's technically now an edible. And they're just like, they didn't like that. That was kind of what they warned about. But yeah, but it wasn't like a fine or anything. They just said like, hey, this is offside for this reason on this role. Please remove this. And so it's not like we were stressed out about like getting a fine or anything, because like they're pretty easy to deal with that way. They just like, if you're a little bit offside, they'll tell, just say, hey, don't do that.
Uh-huh. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What a pain in the ass that would be. And go ahead.
But yeah, it would apply to everything, to answer your question: website, social media, even marketing material, creative inside a dispensary. Everything is subject to Health Canada review for anything you do.
Huh. Yep, it's a pain in the ass. I guess that's the reality of a legal system and a legal market is, there's going to be some regulation and some guideline. I think it's wrong. I think it's all wrong. I think, I do agree that it shouldn't be, maybe there shouldn't be a billboard on the side of the freeway. Because, yeah, I don't want, kids are going to see. I don't know. I personally think parents should raise children, not billboards, not government, not anything else. So it's like I can tell my kid that's a beer billboard, that's not for kids, or that's a weed billboard, that's not for kids. So, but I maybe not have this marketing next to a school or something, so I can find some justification. But the reality is, it's like if we're gonna advertise to consenting adults, and everything else is Hail Marys. There's alcohol commercials that sponsor hockey events, or alcohol brands that sponsor hockey events or sporting events. It's just a double-edged sword. It's just a weird double standard that it just doesn't make any sense. And it's like it must be getting tougher and tougher for the Canadian government to justify this, because it just doesn't make any sense. Do you see change coming soon or no?
Honestly, I see change happening all the time. It's very slow, but everything's always moving in the right direction. I think one of the biggest things that's hard to wrap our heads around, and it was funny, like there was I think this was like when Trudeau was still Prime Minister. He issued a response back to the Canadian cannabis industry in regards to, hey, we need excise tax reform, and everybody's struggling, all these brands are struggling, retailers are struggling. His basic response was like, well, as a government, we didn't legalize cannabis to make everybody wealthy. We legalized it for harm reduction, which is like, I get that perspective as well, in terms of, like they're just trying to make sure that, all supply is going through regulated channels. There's no support of the black market or gangs or violence, all that, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, if you're going to do that, like people are going to expect to be able to operate businesses as well. So you kind of have to do both. So that's like, I think just having that perspective and understanding that the government's viewing things different than we're viewing things. And I think it's on us as an industry to understand what the government wants out of legalization, to be able to lobby for our interests as an industry, right? So, especially being a new industry, I think there's a lot more disorganization than other industries, and so I think that's one challenge we're, like navigating as an industry right now is definitely that. But also in terms of like whether to have marketing billboards or not, I think the other part of this as well is and a lot of provinces are doing this. Like I know Quebec's very active on this. Is they're constantly measuring like the results of legalization and what they can do as a province to, like whether they look at things like, how many hospital visits there are for alcohol versus cannabis and how that's trended since legalization. Um, and so like I don't think any of us know the result, like what would come of open advertising yet. And I think it's good that we're moving a little bit slow, as painful as it is, because we don't want to do something that, might need an overcorrection later as well. I think just being, it's tough because like and you kind of likened it to alcohol. But if alcohol was legalized today, do you think it would have come out just like, oh, let's do sports games, let's have billboards? I think it's just a result of something that was legalized at a different time, um,
I
in a
actually do.
different frame of mindset.
I actually do. I actually believe that if alcohol was legalized today, it would be explosive. And I compare that to gambling. Have you seen how gambling has exploded into at least Canadian television?
It's crazy.
And this
It's
isn't
too much.
Gambling's been around for a long time. However, the proliferation of advertising and the legalization within, America's gone heavy on the illegal side of gambling outside of established events or what have you. Canada's the opposite. And it's incredible how it is justified to push gambling on my child through television, through his apps, through his games, through every single thing he opens up his phone. He's presented with some form of gambling. And it's like, yeah, I do think if alcohol was legalized today, it would be that same way. If we chose insert whatever, it would be very similar. I do think if we did the same thing with cocaine, for example, I think it would be explosive. The problem is we have in my humble opinion, the wrong people trying to figure out this system. What does the government know about regulating cannabis? What does the government know about cannabis in general? I would argue almost nothing. So it's like government should not be involved in 80% of what's happening, and that is the biggest issue here. So I just feel like we just have the wrong people in charge, but that's a whole other conversation. If you could see in a magic ball, you mentioned a few collaborations. Where do you see yourself and you feel you in the next 5 years? Where would you like to see yourself the next 5 years?
Yeah, so we're continuing to build out both our, like, there's a couple provinces we're not in, Alberta, Quebec, so we're building out our national distribution. Further to that, we're starting to work a little bit more on the medical side in Canada, but also starting to look outside of Canada as well to countries that are starting to legalize more on the medical side, like Australia, Germany, Europe. So we want You to be like an international wellness cannabis focused brand, and that's our ultimate goal. So that's kind of where we want to be, and then we also want to build out High Feel You because we believe, just like you mentioned as well, that balance category has a lot of potential, and it's going to take some time to build it. But we believe that's where the consumer is going to end up, is on the light side. The light and the balance consumer is where things are going to shake down to. So yeah, honestly, like we're just really huge proponents of harm reduction and responsible consumption, and that's kind of like we really want to stay in that lane and continue to build it up.
That's awesome, man, and I'm really excited to see you do that because you're doing some big things, and I honestly think with your passion, which I can feel, you guys are going to be unstoppable. So I wish you nothing but luck on your journey to take over the world, my friend. It's America's a fun market too. If you have the opportunity to get down, I say this as a Manitoban for crying out loud, but I spend a lot of time in America. I've got 2 businesses in America, and I've frequent quite a few events down there, and it's like it is a lot of fun, and it needs grassroots passion to take over on a mainstream level, because unfortunately right now it's corporate, and that's the advantage I think that Canada has over the US, is that we don't have that same dominance by corporate cannabis. And I say that even though we've harvested some of the biggest corporate Canadian or corporate international cannabis corporations in the world, and they haven't done the best things. So there's a lot of hope, and I'm excited for you with that. Sam, if anyone wanted to reach out to you or to get in contact with You Feel You, how would they do that?
Yeah, several ways. You could find me on LinkedIn, Samir Padamsi. We have our LinkedIn page, You Feel You, as well there too. Instagram, it's You Feel You Feel You. And if anybody wanted to even email me, they can email me directly at sam@youfeelyou.com.
Dude, I have a feeling this is going to be one of many conversations between the two of us. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed sitting down with you, man. And I feel like we didn't even break into a lot of the minor cannabinoid things because, man, there's a whole story to be told there. But, man, I look forward to hooking up with you again in the future. I appreciate you for making time for the community here and having a conversation with me. And I can't wait till the next time we chat. Sam, thank you, man.
Thanks a lot. Have a great one.
Take care, my friend. Peace for now.
Take care. All right. I know.
Guys, we'll be right back after this.
Come on and lift your glass. You've won your own free pass to be our guest. If you're stressed, it's fine dining we suggest. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
Oh, huge shout out to Sam for coming on for a wonderful conversation. That was very cool. Think I might have made a friend, and I thank him for being here. And I thank you guys for participating in the chat the whole damn time, man. I wanted to clarify something here that was coming in that I seen. I love that Mrs. P, you and I have made it this long before tonight was the very first time we got called out for pre-recording our guest episodes.
Who said that?
Well, everyone may believe that I got a haircut in between the set, but I wanted to lay something out to you. When we started this out, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning of the podcast, I was saying that the show's gone through a number of renditions. It's gone through a number of upgrades, and we've shed a lot of meat or a lot of weight off the show over the course of the last couple years, I guess, or a year and a bit that the show's been on. And if you tune into the very first show, it was so over the top. We were using green screens and all that kind of stuff. Now we don't use any green screens. The people are actually on the TV at all times. No, I'm just playing with you. And one of the big changes that we did, Reg, in the chat with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, brother.
Woo.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. One of the big changes that we made was that we had to pre-record the interviews, man, because 2 main reasons, as I mentioned in the chat. The first one was that, one, a lot of my guests would spend more time paying attention to the chat than the questions that I was asking. And I would be talking to them and they'd be responding to the comments in the chat. And I'm like, hey, over here. Hey, look at me. And so, and when, sometimes there's trolls in the chat. Wow, look at all the love. David with the $10 supporting the show. Thank you. That right there is the best way to support the show. That goes directly to Mrs. P and I. So thank you so much for the gift.
You're going to say that goes directly to Mrs. P.
That goes directly to Mrs. P. So thank you for supporting her. Thank you, David. I appreciate that so much, man. I appreciate that. And the 5 gifted, and there was a donation earlier while I was rambling. Mrs. P, do you remember who it was?
Oh.
You're not going to be able to find it on the chat.
Can I find it in?
I don't know. It won't let you go all the way back. I already tried. I was rambling about something, but thank you so much. I think it was $2. It might have been Chapo, but it was $2. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. I really appreciate that. Mrs. P does get paid, premium pay. But yeah, the second reason is like the technical difficulties. Even the best of my guests, like the most technically inclined, have had technical issues coming into the live stream. And so, we really, really wanted to alleviate the tech issues and the audio issues. So when I pre-record these things, I can adjust the audio of my guest, no matter how wretched their audio might be. I can pull that in, I can hone that in. And they're not as nervous either. Going on a show with a live stream where you're in front of not just one person, you're in front of 100 or 200 or 3, whatever it is, million people. you know, it's a little nerve wracking, and I want people to just feel like it's us, it's intimate. And then, like Ryan said, I don't want to get distracted by the chat either. That's another thing, is like, you know, we can be in a great, I just want it to be between me and them. That's all. I really want it to be a conversation. But in the meantime, Mrs. P and I, we post just the interviews of all of our guests. So if you're getting here, we've had like 60 plus guests. I think we're on episode 70, actually.
60 plus episodes, but there were a few repeats.
We've had guests on most of the shows.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know that and you're new, we do post the episodes. So Mrs. P, feel free to go ahead and post that link to the Tea with P channel.
Yeah. One of the things that influenced the decision to pre-record too was time zones. We were limited to who we could interview because I think it was the one guy from Germany that we could not for the life of us coordinate a time with because of the time zone difference. And in order to give the best interviews and be able to talk to the most people, that was just the way that it had to happen. So
Crippled Cowboy, thank you so much. Crippled, I appreciate you, man, for the gifted or the 10 dono, man. You guys are too kind, man. Thank you so much. This has been our longest run, Flock, in the YouTube partnership program. Okay, I don't want to jinx anything, but this is our longest run. The reason you're able to donate, the reason we're able to have memberships, the reasons that there's ads before the videos is because we are one of the very few, if not the only, cannabis channel that is fully monetized and remains to be fully monetized. So, yes, that's because of you guys. Thank you so much. Tea with P just hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for the love over there. That's where we post all of the interviews. Even old interviews with the audio tweaked and all the... Ow, I got a sliver.
I'm going back and fixing all of the heinous audio.
So, yeah. So if that's something you're interested in, I encourage you guys to go and check that out. Cheers, friends.
Yes, AA. This also gives us the chance to sit and to read your guys' comments and to engage with you guys during the interviews.
Shout out to Grabo. Mrs. P, you met Grambo, right, or no?
I did.
Yes, that's right. That's when you came too. We all came together. Oh, yeah, that's when we all
I
went
was
for pizza.
promised pizza when you came home from the DGC, and I did not get pizza.
In fairness, I didn't either. We did not get pizza, which was
a damn shame.
It was a damn shame.
It's a damn shame. We were in bed the one night. You rolled over and you were like, I could drive to Denver right now for some pizza. And I was like,
I did
me
say
too. Me too.
I did say that.
And I knew that
Just
you were...
a short 10-hour drive.
I knew you were half serious when you said it.
Yeah.
No.
If there was any part of you that was like, let's go, I probably would have made it happen.
I would have, but I'm pretty sure that Lil P had school the next day, so...
But for pizza?
But, yeah.
For
that pizza?
Fuegos?
That pizza.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuegos.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Shout out to Grambo. Shout out to Chris. Britain is in the house. DWC's here. Ganja Ninja, what's up? Mike Smith, what's up? Tiber, what's up? Guys, I stream. If you guys enjoy these streams, I stream every single night or every single day pretty well. Twitch.tv/pigeons420. I was streaming this morning. I was doing some duck hunting this morning. So if you guys are into duck hunting and want to check that out and come hang out with us, come and hang, my friends, because that's what we were doing over there, and primarily do a lot of gaming over there. So if that's not your thing, then don't worry about it. But if you are interested, twitch.tv/pigeons420. Shout out to all my patrons, guys. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Thank you guys for being here. Look at that. Hey,
we need to fix that.
Hey, how's that? That looks just fine.
We tried something new.
Look at all those wonderful names. It looked good in my head when I wasn't on this scene.
Tried something new, didn't work.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
We'll fix it.
I gotta make it better, I promise. If you can't tell, I do all my own effects. Thank you guys so much for the donations. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Reg, I appreciate you. Crippled Cowboy, thank you so much.
It's crazy you're closer to Denver than Toronto. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
David Wallman, thank you so much. Yeah, it is crazy. 7-day stream? You're crazier than me. Yeah. I stream every single day. Yeah, every single day. I've got to be the most accessible dude other than Grambo. Okay? So come hang out. But I'm doing a lot of duck hunting over the course of the last few days. There was one more housekeeping item that I was going to mention, but I forgot.
We're not here on Thursday.
That's it. We're not here next week, guys. I meant to mention that at the beginning of the show, too. We're not here next week. On the 25th. Maybe the 24th.
No, 25th.
25th. We're not here. Okay, Mrs. P and I have a date night.
Yeah, double date.
Double date. So we will not be here. So if there is any tea, if there's any immediate tea, then maybe we'll go live before maybe like on Wednesday, but it's very unlikely. So I will
feel like Wednesday might also be busy depending on.
I don't mean that it's unlikely that there won't be tea. I mean it'll be unlikely that I go live.
Yeah.
So no tea next week. Okay, date night. Yup. Mrs. P and I been married a long time. What is it? 15 years? No, 10 years.
Really?
10 years.
Married or together?
Married. That's what I said. Are you confused? Are you buying time to figure out how much time it is?
No, married 10.
Of course. That's what I said.
How
And then together forever.
17.
Isn't she cute? Great show tonight yet again. Thanks, East Coast. Appreciate you, man. Reg, again, thanks for the 5 gifted, man. I appreciate those. Drew, appreciate you, man. And Grambo, appreciate you pulling up. And remember, you can always participate in the chat. You know, you never know who's watching. You never know who's here. So if you ever have any questions or any concerns with anything that's going on, you know, participate in the chat. And let's just, for the 127 people that are still here, the 130 people that are still here, let's not mention that these are pre-recorded ever again. Okay, because Mrs. P and I go through a lot of effort to make sure that
we do still have the odd one that's not.
Oh yeah, but no one's gonna ever know.
No
one's gonna ever know.
No, and you know what? I think as somebody who thoroughly enjoys Easter eggs, I think it's a little bit of fun too.
Yeah, you got to try to figure it out.
Right? See if you can figure out if it's pre-recorded or not.
Yep. Don't tell anyone.
No. Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself, Chapo. Okay? This is our little secret. And then
you make a little list. Maybe someday we'll do some kind of a contest. It's like
what? That's right, Mike. I like this one.
Make a list of all the things that you noticed that stuck out to you. That
there were some changes. There were some small changes.
Your hair.
Yeah, it's perfect. Garden Quest. I appreciate you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We're gonna get out of here. We will see you in a couple weeks, or I'll see you tomorrow over on Twitch, twitch.tv/pigeons420. I'll be Chaba. I wasn't trying to call you out. My high ass was genuinely wondering what you do during the interviews. Wasn't trying to call. No. I know you weren't. No, I know you weren't. Thank you for the dono, dude. No, I know, and I know you weren't. No, I just someone had mentioned something earlier. Drew, I think it was Drew actually. Drew had mentioned something. Yeah, there he is.
Dude, there was one week where you wore like a whole different outfit.
Yes, I had 2 different outfits on.
And
nobody said anything.
We were
I'm
like,
the only one that cares.
Did we really get away with that?
No one. I'm the only one that cares. It's not a big deal. I hold myself to an unbelievable, mostly unattainable standard and expectation of myself. So it's like I always push. But yeah. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. No, I wanted to clear the air too, because like this show is continuously evolving, and I don't know what tomorrow's show will bring. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I know that I always wanted to have a podcast. I know that. How that podcast ends up happening, or how it ends up evolving, or what it turns into, I really don't know. I don't. You guys are on the journey with me, man. And it's like, you know, this all started literally 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. I started on YouTube. I started over 10 years ago. So it's like, when I started, there was no no weed podcast, no grow podcast, no none of that. So it's like we've over the years we've seen how shows and podcasts have evolved, and I see the movers and shakers in our space, the Yolas, the James Louds, the there's a lot of great podcasts out there, and it's just like, dude, I can't. We're gonna get there too. So I don't know what the final rendition of this show really is, but being in the middle of nowhere does inherently present issues in regards to like who I can have to sit and have a conversation. So it really relies on production. And so that's why I don't know what the final version of this show will be, or this podcast. I call it a show, but it's whatever it is. Whatever you want it to be is what it is. I don't want it to be anything more or less than what it really is. So I don't know what the final version will be, but I want to talk to everyone. I really do. I want to talk to everyone in this space and just kind of dive into why weed tickles them and why they decided to take the journey they're on today, and share that with as many people as I can. And so I don't know how that's going to end. That's really what I'm trying to say. So this is the show we have right now, and what comes of tomorrow, I don't know. I do know that I can assure you there's going to be a set change. If you noticed in the last scene, this poster it fell, and it was like on a crazy angle like this. I had no idea until today. I was like, damn it.
During the interview?
Yep. Yep.
That's my bad. I should have noticed that.
Yeah, it was like this. Yeah, go back and see that. That's clip worthy if you'd like. So needless to say, friends, thank you so much for being you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. On behalf of myself and Mrs. P, we'll check in with you very soon. I will see you tomorrow on Twitch. All right, my friends? Much love. Stay medicated. And peace out. I want to say goodbye to everybody. Hold on. See you, David. I was almost there, but then I was like, no. Richard, you take it easy, brother. Thanks for all your comments today, man. Chad Carroll, hello. Sunday. Grambo, thanks for making it a night, man. I appreciate you, dude. Not given, thank you. Garden Quest, see you on Twitch, dude. See you again, Janinja. Thank you, David, for the donos, Chapo for the donos, Reg for the donos, and Crippled Cowboy for the donos. That was all off the top of my head. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. It's because of you guys that we're able to do this show. I just want you guys to know that. Okay? All of this, everything is because of you. Not because you donated money, but because you comment, because you subscribe, because you hit the like button. I know that sounds so dumb, but that's literally what fuels this machine. This machine you're staring at. So thank you so much for being a part of it, and thank you for just fueling this machine. Thank you. I can't say it enough. Motivated by Terps. Thank you for being green, dude. Hazer, appreciate you, dude. Double A. John, thank you for always being the first one here, dude. Reg, hardest guy to add in the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the gifted subs, dude. Tasty Genetics, take it easy, dude. Ricky Bobbies. Cheers, homie. Chapo, appreciate you, dude. See you, Richard. See you, Mafia. See you, High Plains. See you, East Coast. See you, Idiom. See you, Kurt. See you, Exotic. 702 Exotics, the name I've been seeing in a long time. Good to see you, dude. Dr. Rapotnik, you too, homie. Peace, G. Cheers, friends. See you, Mike. See you, Void Scent. Double A. Peace. All right, I think I got everybody. See you, Vendo. See you, Tiver. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.
Come on and lift your glass. You won your own free pass to be our guest. If you're stressed, it's fine dining we suggest. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
I can't believe diamonds so close, and I don't know to take a trail alone.